Is Kevin Durant the best player in the world? Now, this may seem like a question for all the simps out there, um, but it's a legitimate question.
Is that a real question?
It is. Hey, Kevin, nice to see you. Thanks for joining the show. Kevin Durant led Team USA men's basketball to the Olympic gold medal. There is no question about that. There is no other way to spin it. Kevin Durant was the best player in this tournament. Now, I know that Rudy Gobert is the,
Rudy Gobert.
Did you see that he was named to the all-tournament team?
Wow.
As one of the top 5 players in the tournament.
Wow.
Well, Kevin Durant's better. I know. Again, that's very simple. In all seriousness, there you go. Is Kevin Durant the best player in the world? Now, and I know that people get upset when you don't say, oh, LeBron James is the greatest player to ever open a school. I understand that people get upset about that. I'm not sure what the school has to do.
I don't know either, but that's fine.
I was off Friday, and I have a lot of energy. The point is that Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is by far the best player in the NBA and the best player in the world. And a lot of people will throw in LeBron James. Look, I have a lot of respect for what LeBron's done over his career, but in my opinion, LeBron's past his peak now. He is 86 years old, and he's just not the same player that Kevin Durant is. And I don't know that he's ever been the best player. At their peaks, I would probably still go with Kevin Durant. I mean, the way he shoots the ball mid-range from 3, he finishes at the rack. He's actually a very good defender and a wanting defender now. Jake, I think Kevin Durant's the best player in the world.
Yeah, and I just think it really, right now I don't really think it's that close. I think, again, with all due respect to LeBron, you're talking about a guy who's been in the league for damn near 20 years now. I mean, there's no doubting he's one of the best to ever do it. And I don't think it should be a crying shame that, we're sitting here saying, hey, at 30, what is he, 37 now or 36 or whatever he is, however old he is now, at this age, he's not the best player anymore. Is he still a really, really good player? Is he still one of the best players in the world? Yeah, but he's not the number 1 player in the world, and I don't think that should be some, horrible thing, I think, Kevin Durant has paid his dues. He's earned his way, and everyone's going to say, well, he's a ring chaser. Well, everybody's a ring chaser now, LeBron put together a super team. You can point to numerous people who have gone and tried to win a championship. Hell, look what's going on in LA right now. Are we going to call Carmelo a ring chaser now? Are we going to call, any of these other guys who went to Los Angeles ring chasers? I don't know. That's kind of an opinion-based conversation. But at the end of the day, I think right now, if you just said, hey, who do you want to start a team around? I'm definitely taking Kevin Durant right now. And I don't think it should be taken as, hey, you're saying LeBron sucks.
Yeah, and because he certainly does not. And the one thing that I think we tend to do in sports is we tend to try and rip people down to build others up, and I just don't think we need to do that. I think both players are spectacular, but I don't even know who else is in the conversation as the best player in the world. I mean, I think Kevin Durant is head and shoulders better than Steph Curry. I think he's head and shoulders better than Giannis. I can't even think of another player. I think Bradley Beal has to be on that list somewhere.
James Harden is the guy that I think a lot of people will point to as somebody who has really improved and really kind of gone to the next level as a player in Brooklyn. But I think that, I don't know, man. There's just this different level that Kevin can get to because of his body and how long he is. He is able to get to spots on the floor that others are not, and he is able to take attempts consistently and make those attempts that others are not. And so I think you just start to see when Team USA is in trouble and they need a bucket, it's like, all right, yep, give it to Kevin. He's just going to go right to the top of the key, going to, cross over twice, go to the elbow, and knock it down. And we can just rely on that whenever we want to. And that's what I think is the true, like benchmark of who the best player in the world is. If you think about LeBron as a Miami Heat, you could say, yeah, we're going to give this ball to LeBron, and he's going to get us a basket. It's that
LeBron was on a different level.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. At that point, there was no question that LeBron James was the best player in the world.
Exactly.
Here today on August 9th, 2021, I don't think there's any doubt Kevin Durant's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I just... The ability to shoot over everybody.
Well, and look what he did in the Bucks series. I mean, I know they lost that series, but you look at, just how far he was able to take them. I mean, that's insane, dude.
Alone. And he's a toenail away from walking away from that series.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing to me the durability, the flexibility that, Giannis showed in that series. But Kevin Durant, I just don't even think it's close. I mean, I again look at, I think it's a very short list.
Mm-hmm.
No, Luka Doncic is not on that list, in my opinion. And this is the problem with Luka, and I feel like we talk about this with him all the time.
Yeah.
What did we see from Luka Doncic in the Olympic tournament? An out-and-out refusal to shoot the ball with the game on the line. More worried about bitching at the officials and complaining about foul calls than he was about playing the game. I mean, if you're Luka, you have to be an alpha male. You can't be on the sidelines crying and throwing water bottles, and that's who that guy is. And until he shows that he actually can be a teammate and guys want to play with him and he can win in the biggest moments, I don't even think he's in that conversation. I mean, I'm taking LeBron over Luka. I'm taking AD over Luka. I'm taking Curry over Luka.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal certainly over
Dame.
Luka Doncic. I don't know, this abdominal injury that Damian Lillard is supposedly dealing with. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who didn't hear, it kind of flew under the radar. Damian Lillard apparently is a pretty significant abdominal injury that he played the Olympic tournament with. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back from that. But I think when Dame's 100%, sure, Dame's in that conversation. Over Luka for sure. I just don't view Damian Lillard as one of the top players in the NBA, like the top 5 guys. I don't put Damian Lillard in that conversation. I think he's turned into a guy that has fallen in love with a 3-ball. And I think that's what he's known for and what he did to the Nuggets. My God.
Yeah, he terrorized them for sure.
Yeah,
and that's why I say, like, I think, for me, it's like the group that I have would, obviously Kevin, so it'd be KD, Steph, Harden. I do have Dame there because I think he has shown the ability to take over games. The clutch gene isn't in question. The only thing that is in question with Dame is actually winning something.
Yes.
As I say all the time with Donovan, like, you got to win something. It's not good enough just to be a postseason guy. I mean, you got to win, the Western Conference, or you got to win an NBA championship, or whatever the case may be. So you look at Kevin Durant, you look at Steph, you look at LeBron. All those guys have won a ton of championships at this point. So to me, it's those 3 guys that are at the top. Now, Giannis has now cracked that list because he has one, but I still think Giannis just has a ton of development left. Like, I think he's got to find a jump shot that's consistent. He's got to, because he's better at driving to the basket than Kevin is, but Kevin is obviously the superior scorer overall. So it's like, it's a give and take. So overall, that's why I say, I think when you look at Kevin Durant, he's got the total package. Can score whenever he wants to, plays defense, is happy to hack Rudy constantly in the Olympics.
Well, and he has the it factor.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Durant has the it factor, and that's the big vote for Dame.
Yeah.
For sure. Federico says Jokic over Doncic every day.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm a huge Nikola Jokic believer as far as bigs go. I think he's one of the best bigs in the league. There aren't very many 5s I would take over Jokic. I mean, I think Jokic or Joel Embiid. Well, Embiid's not healthy all the time. Jokic usually is.
Yep.
So I probably put Jokic as the best center in the NBA.
And I think Jokic still has more. I think Mike Malone, their head coach, holds him down sometimes with the way he runs his rotations. So I think if you were
it's Michael Malone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike. Michael. It's going to go ahead and be Michael. Michael holds him down a little bit. I think if he were to just cut him loose and play him 35, 40 a night, he would be, even better than he already is.
All right, cool. So I think Brandon Whiteside says Durant barely squeaked out a gold. Okay, is there such a thing as barely?
So then if Durant barely squeaked out a gold, then Rudy Gobert barely squeaked out a silver. Is that what we're saying?
Wait,
is that what we're saying?
Is there such a thing as barely?
I don't think there's such a thing as barely.
You won a gold medal.
Yeah.
Barely? What do you say to a track athlete the other day who won a race by 1/100th of a second?
Is that barely?
Is that barely? Oh, wait, that's still a gold medal? Oh, okay. Barely, though. Like, do they write barely on the gold medal?
Yeah. Hey, you barely won the gold medal.
Is it nickel plated instead of gold plated because it's only barely? What are you talking about? They won a gold medal. It's not barely. Is it going to say barely in the record book? Like, see, I hate that. I hate that.
Does it say barely won the Western Conference Finals next to the Suns?
No. It says they won the Western Conference Finals. But no. See, Brandon, you're not going to goat me into it. I'm not doing it. Brylark says the NBA has become way more international, especially in the last 10 years. Yeah, that's absolutely
I would agree with that.
true.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Brandon says still should have had more talent than most of these overseas teams. The best players on Team USA didn't even play.
Yeah.
You understand that, right? Like, Kevin Durant was arguably the only elite player that played in that tournament. Like, you didn't have James Harden. You didn't have Steph Curry. LeBron, AD. Like, you didn't have the best players that the U.S. had to offer. What do you mean barely? I see that the thing that really bothers me is we tend to find a reason to rip people who do better than our favorite player or our team or, if, ands, and buts. Dude, you're either a winner or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, if I say Kevin Durant, he's a winner.
He's a winner.
He's got multiple NBA championships, multiple gold medals. He's been the best player on championship teams. Like, if you throw out Rudy Gobert's an interesting part of this. And we probably should have this discussion as well. Like, Rudy Gobert's not a winner. Yeah. Like, and we can sit here and we can talk about, he's on the all-tournament team, and that's cool. Do you want to win a championship or be on the all-tournament team? Which one's it going to be?
Well, but wait. Do you want to barely win a gold medal or be on the all-tournament team?
Well, I'd rather be on the all-tournament team. I mean, I don't want a barely gold medal.